Hey, peeps, beautiful people. Happy Sunday. Dills Victoria here. There are moments in time where I still say Phoenix because Phoenix is so very much in my spirit today and some other days. And I guess because of rising from the ashes yet again, so she'll pop up every now and again. This is your host, Dills Victoria of What's Your Brand Story podcast. I have an amazing guest. She's also a client of mine, which I'm giggles and excited about because I always wanted to have her on my podcast because she is good people, has a lot of stuff going on. So, as I always say, have a notebook and a pen or pencil because she's going to be dropping gems. All of my guests always drop amazing gems when they're on the podcast. So, thank you for coming on, Coach Latina. How are you today?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I love the shirt. Life coach. Okay, now.
Yes, life coach Poppy.
Yes. So welcome to What's Your Brand Story podcast. Happy to have you. So can you tell everyone who you are, what you do, and what is your definition of a brand story?
Yes. Okay. My name is Latina. I am actually, give me just a second.
Take your time.
Okay. Okay, my name is Latina. I am actually a meditation strategist. I have 20 years experience as a mental health professional, and I also have a bachelor's degree in health science. I'm certified as a life coach for stress and meditation. I chose stress and meditation as an avenue to go into because it healed me during my darkest times and my darkest
Mm,
hours when I didn't know where my next meal was going to come from. I didn't know anything other than that I was just like a shell and the body existed. And I
mm,
wanted to overcome that hurdle and overcome that challenge. So I began to implement, mindfulness and meditation. And I learned that I loved it. And it was a story behind it. And I wanted to be able to tell my story authentically without feeling judged or that my story was it sounded too far fetched, but even though it was my story, I was like afraid to say my story. I can say, so
mm.
then I found you, and it was like, oh yeah, this is brand storyteller. Like, okay, so she can help me tell my story and tell my brand.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Good stuff. So, when did you discover meditation, though? Like, what was that? What were you doing? How did you come about it? Was there like a specific aha moment?
Discovering mindfulness and meditation happened when I was I was in jail, and I didn't know what to do. Like it was like a lot happening. I was young. I got into some trouble. I
Hmm.
didn't know what my next recourse was going to be because only thing I knew was that okay, well, Tina, you have to figure something out because the road you're going is not it, right?
Yeah.
So, there was a Bible. There was a lady that came around and that she gave us a Bible. I went to prayer study, and one of the topics, or one of the questions she asked was about prayer. Like, did you know that you can pray without praying? Like, you just pray and you just say the words. So that evening, I went back to the barrack and I read that Bible and I began to pray. Well, then as I prayed, I remember repeating a Bible verse that if you ask, seek, and knock on faith. And I began to meditate on that phrase asking, seeking, and knocking. And
Hmm.
as I meditated, I repeated different phrases like, I am beautiful. I am someone. I deserve to be loved. I don't like myself right now. What can I do to heal me? How can I discover and define me?
Hmm.
So as the day I was that was like 11-day experience, and like a couple of days later, another person came back for Bible study. I was sitting in Bible study, and we had like a prayer session. And during
Hmm.
that prayer session, she said, "Lay down all your burdens and just be still and be quiet."
Hmm.
I laid down all my burdens and I was still and I was quiet, and I found that it was so peaceful there.
Hmm.
And as I got out, actually was released way earlier than the time I was supposed to. I think I did, it was a 30-day and I did 11 anyways. So, and I got out and I said, I want that feeling again.
Mm.
So I began to pray. I began to speak positive words of affirmation. I began to see my life change for the better because not only did that situation and that experience wake me up, it brought forward new opportunities and new possibilities for me to go into an avenue of life that something totally different, something I never thought I wanted to do. I had experienced the medical side. I experienced what it was like being over there, and I wanted that peace, and I got it back, and I got it
Mhm.
mindfulness and meditation. That was a dark space for me, and I did
Mm.
not want to go back to that space, go back to that moment or that time where I felt less than.
Mm.
So
Wow.
I incorporated mindfulness and meditation. Now, true enough, don't get me wrong, because honey, I would be sitting here telling you a story if I told you that my life immediately changed and I ain't had no downtime, or I didn't have times where I didn't meditate, where I didn't pray. Baby, I'm human. That's right. A long periods of times. But guess what? Every time I fell off my path, I went through them trials, I went through them hurdles. What came back to me was what I already knew. I knew that the power of a spoken tongue, I knew I needed to pray, I knew I needed to meditate, I knew I needed to practice affirmations. So as
Mhm.
life went on, life started happening. I stopped. I stopped meditating. I stopped praying. I stopped doing affirmations. But then life happened again and drove me right back in. And when
As
it
it
drew
always
me
does.
right,
As
I
it always
picked
does.
myself, I picked up and went on about my business.
Yeah. Wow. When you talk about laying down your burdens, oftentimes, including myself, I know that people have a hard time. Like people hold on to grudges so much, and they have a hard time letting go. How were you able to just lay down your burdens and just let go completely, where you are able to experience that peace? Because I feel like a lot of people don't know how to do it, or they have a problem with it. It's just like I don't know how to do it.
The best way that I can tell anyone how to lay down their burdens is getting
Mm,
writing,
journaling.
journaling, and coloring.
Mm,
Journaling and coloring.
wow. So when you're journaling and you're coloring, what does that do for your spirit? Does it like,
It allows my spirit to breathe. It allows my
mm,
spirit to go into a serene and peaceful feeling that I can write out my thoughts. And
mhm,
whether I keep them in my journal, I pray, release, and burn it. Those are my thoughts. And whatever that weight is, I can write it out.
mhm,
I don't have to worry about no one seeing it.
mhm,
I don't have to worry about no one throwing it in my face. I don't have
mhm,
to worry about no judgment. I don't have to worry about anything other than getting it off of my back and letting it just go, because
mhm,
I have an issue with compartmentalizing my stress. And if I compartmentalize too much, it begins to mess with. I was diagnosed clinically with depression, bipolar depression, and anxiety and PTSD. So I learned that if I continue to hold on to those things, it
mhm.
caused me to have to take these pills. I'm not a pill person.
Same. Give me a tea, give me
Right. So
some
I
fruit, something
immediately
organic.
learned how to let that go, babe. And it's hard getting naked with yourself, looking in the mirror.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I know. I study that all the time, and you and I have conversations before, when it comes to introspection and doing the deep dives with the self and being able to allow yourself to be uncomfortable and giving yourself permission to just be in those moments with yourself and allowing yourself to be emotional and cry and do all the things and not be ashamed about it or not hold yourself back anymore from it, because these are things that we as human beings, we have to one day sit with ourselves and confront the self.
true.
Yeah. So I'm glad that meditation and mindfulness is something that you can practice and put into practice. And when you first started it, what was the hardest thing for you?
Not judging my thoughts.
Mm.
Because the old saying is you meditate, you have to cut off your mind.
Yeah, but you can't cut off your mind because
You
it's like
can't cut it off, right? But people literally, a lot of you would be surprised. Well, of course, Dillis. There's a lot of people that refuse to meditate because they're not comfortable with themselves and the voices that they hear. They're so
hmm
judgmental.
and so
Or
loud.
yes, yes. So learning how to acknowledge those thoughts and just ew, let them go. It's hard. It's
hmm
hard. And even to this day, I still like I cannot get over 35 minutes of meditating. I've tried, and I know for me to be a meditation strategist, for me to say that, I cannot get over 35 minutes. After 35 minutes of meditating, not only I'm not judging those thoughts, but then I'm wondering, Lord, let me get up. My feet gonna be cramping. I'm hungry. Oh,
Butt
what
gonna hurt.
yeah, my butt hurt. Oh, I got a cramp in my thigh meat. There's anything going on. But for some
Right.
reason, I cannot get over 35 minutes.
Well, maybe that's where you're supposed to be within that 35-minute frame. But I love the fact that you said, even though you're a meditation strategist, you still have a hard time at times doing it. And that just tells me how authentic you are, how vulnerable you are, how real and honest you are, because people want to know that. I feel like sometimes when it comes to coaches and speakers and authors and da 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 da, the list goes on and on and on. Um, Other people feel like we have it all together. We're perfect. We've healed. We've done the work. Da, da, da. The work is consistent. It's not linear. It's always going. You're going to have moments when you're up, and you're going to have moments when you're down. So when you're having those down moments and you're going through it and meditation isn't working, what is the next thing that you do?
Yelling.
What?
Yelling. Yes, ma'am. I will go out to my backyard, baby, and I will yell my head off. I am serious. It is so freeing.
Oh, wow.
You
Yelling.
yell, just
Wow.
if you can yell cuss words, you can yell whatever it is. Let go of this drama. I hate this. You know what I'm saying? You can
Yes.
yell it out. Yell it
Wow.
because you're releasing those endorphins
Okay.
and
Yeah.
you're focusing on your breath because
Right.
you're not yelling to run out of breath. You're yelling to release. So literally,
Wow.
if meditation don't work, yelling, grounding.
Yeah, that's my
Tapping.
thing. I love putting my feet in the grass and just
Yes,
sitting there and
yes.
wow, yelling.
Fresh cut grass for some reason. Oh, it makes my feet feel so good.
Well, this is the other thing I do too. Like when I'm going through a transition, I am shaving off all the hair off my head because I feel like I store so much energy in there. And when I'm done with it, I feel so lighter. And I
Mhm.
went to the beauty school a couple blocks from the Airbnb where I'm staying. And I sat down in the chair and the girl was like, "What you haven't done?" I'm like, "I just want to shave it all off." And I was like, "Sweetheart, don't be scared. I do this all the time." So I showed her a picture of myself. She's like, "Okay, I can relax now." Because she was so scared. And she was like, "What's the reason behind it?" I said, "Well, for me, I store a lot of energy and attachments and things in my hair. So when I shave it all off, that's me giving myself a rebirth, a new beginning, a new chapter, and it's an opportunity for me to create different type of space for myself." And she was like, "Damn, you're gonna make me want to shave off your head." I'm like, "You might not be ready for that."
Right.
Right.
Might not be able to just ease your way into it.
Right. So, how do you work with your clients? Take me through that process of how you are as a meditation strategist and how do you work with your clients?
Well, there's several ways that you can work with me, but
Mhm.
personally, I like to work in a small group setting so
Mhm.
that I could feel their energy.
Mhm.
And doing one-on-one is fine. I do one-on-ones, and that's basically like the meditation session, Zoom or in person. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty to discover
Mhm.
what do you need help with, where are you at, how can I help you? And
Mhm.
sometimes during that session, it's one-on-one and it's personal because there's a lot of emotions and connections involved.
Yeah.
And in a in-person one-on-one session, I'm able to do a healing
Mhm.
so that when we are meditating, not only are we manifesting them through the pain and suffering and healing, we
Mhm.
are invoking peace and calling in that calm and trying to get them balanced.
Mm-hmm.
So for that, again, I say with the small group setting, beyond boundaries, yay. Um, Beyond Boundaries is a 12-week program, and it's an expensive 12-week program. Yes, I'm super excited. And during that 12 weeks is a whole experience. We meet bi-weekly,
Mm-hmm.
open enrollment, and it's 5 people. I want to start with 5 because again, I want small group. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm willing to take 1 or 2 more, but most definitely 5.
Yeah.
And in that group, we're going to get naked with ourselves. We go over things in beyond barriers, such as, let me get it all the way pulled up.
You good. Talk about it, sis. Talk
Yeah.
about it.
So with beyond barriers, there's things that we have to do, like we have to learn to talk to ourselves better.
Mm-hmm.
We have to
Agreed.
learn to stop self sabotaging. We have
Agreed.
to learn to stop trashing ourselves and burning our own opportunities and our blessings before they come. So we go through things like understanding self sabotaging, creating and crafting a relaxation bundle. What does that relaxation look like for you at the end of the day? Is
Mm-hmm.
it meditating for 30? Is it going to the gym? Is it soaking in the tub? And is it having sex?
Mm. Yeah.
We
That's
go
good
over
meditation.
those things. Right. We go over those things. We go over building emotional resistance, self care, breaking down, and we go over understanding self sabotaging, but then we are breaking the cycle of self sabotaging as well.
Yeah.
And then I teach how to write positive affirmations, how to try to do some mindset work, was like mindset reset type of work, the power of affirmations, letting go of stress. So, during that intensive 12-week um,
Mm-hmm.
program, I call it getting naked with yourself
Mm-hmm.
because literally we're going to get naked in those 12 weeks, figuratively,
Absolutely.
mentally, and emotionally too.
Yeah.
Because you have to get comfortable. You have to get uncomfortable to get comfortable. And I'm
Yeah.
so tired of people not really being comfortable
Yeah.
with them.
Mm-hmm.
So then you go and you try to break down her
Mm-hmm.
or him
Mm-hmm.
for being them.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to break that mold. So beyond barriers is a way of breaking that mold.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff. I like that. I like that getting naked with the self and
Yes,
getting honest
getting
with the
naked.
self and being vulnerable with yourself because a lot of people don't want to be vulnerable with themselves or they don't know how to be vulnerable with themselves because conditioning, toxicity in family. There's so many different things that come along with it. So it's that constant practicing of being disciplined to be vulnerable with the self. And it is uncomfortable. It's a very uncomfortable feeling when you start doing it. But once you do it over and over and over again, it tends to get better. It tends to get lighter. And like I said, with the healing, it's like this. It's
Yes.
like that. It's not a constant thing. It's just not you're not gonna be like this all the time.
Now it'll get easier if you learn how to manage some of that stress and learn how to stop sabotaging and learn that, oh my God, this thought of me wanting to go run over this man in my truck, let me just breathe. Let me learn the power of
Exactly.
taking some slow deep breaths in through my nose and out through my mouth
Exactly.
to keep me from going.
Exactly.
You know, it's
Exactly.
worth, like you said, it's emotional roller coaster, but I promise it's worth the ride.
It
Because
is.
who
Yes.
wouldn't want to walk around with a glow or walk
Yeah.
around literally being happy and
Yeah, I
showing
agree.
gratitude and appreciation?
And also self-aware.
Yes, yes.
Self-awareness. That's something that I practice all the time. Self-awareness, paying attention to my emotions and my feelings, or when I wake up in the morning and my heart is heavy, and I ask myself, why is this happening? Why is my heart heavy? And I sit with it. And before it would take me a long time to get the answers, but now it's just like, okay, I understand why this is. And I give myself permission to just cry it out. I give myself permission to just sit in the pain as
Mhm.
opposed to getting busy and running around and doing this and doing that and avoiding and procrastinating or putting it to the back burner or like you said, compartmentalizing.
Mhm.
even further dissociating because you don't want to feel it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then what joy is in not feeling it? I mean, you felt the emotions going into them.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to feel the emotions getting out of them, because when you're not able to feel those emotions, you really don't respect the emotions and you don't learn the lesson that is intended for you to learn.
Okay,
Um,
you got to say that one more again so the people in the back can hear you.
if you don't, if you don't do the work, if you don't go through the grief, if you don't go through all stages, then you won't learn that lesson. You'll be so willing to get back in that situation or a situation like it, because you never learned from it in the first part.
Mm,
You didn't go through the process, you know. You didn't go
yeah,
through the process. Like relationships, you didn't go through the process of being hurt. Yeah, we broke up, but did I go through the crying? Did I go through the deflection? Did I go through the hurt, the anger? Did I go through the love? Did I go through, or did I just go cut off my hair? Or did I just start going to the gym, go buy a whole nother wardrobe? What did I do?
yeah,
Did I
absolutely.
look in the mirror, standing naked in front of my mirror? Did I look and say, well, maybe you was wrong for the way you handled this situation?
Yeah, exactly. I had to, when I went through my narcissistic abusive relationship that I was in for a year, I had to give myself permission to allow my heart to break.
Yes.
I had to give myself permission to just sit in the pain, cry, however many days I had to cry. I had to give myself permission to say, okay, being abused was not your fault. However, you have to take responsibility and accountability for the part that you played in the relationship
Hmm.
and not allow the abuse to define who you are, but ask yourself specific questions like, why do you think the way that you think? Why do you behave the way that you behave? Why do you act the way that you act? Or whatever the case may be, your thought process. So moving forward, next time you'll be much more stronger to notice certain things, but also how you respond to certain things. And that's something that I had to like fully be engulfed in,
Hmm.
like on the floor type stuff. Because, like you said, yeah, people go to the gym, they work out, they want to change their eating habits, they want to lose weight, they work out, they focus on the outside, they don't focus on the inner.
What about what's in here? What about those feelings? You know,
Right,
what's causing that chichen migraine, or what's causing that
right.
sciatic pain, or
Yeah.
what's
Oh, yes.
causing, what's causing you to lose them edges?
Right.
What's
Yes.
causing it? And people look at healing as an aspect of, oh, well, I ain't going through no relationship breakup. I
Mm-hmm.
don't need to heal, baby. Yes, you do.
Mm-hmm.
Know why? Because you might not be going through it with this one. And maybe you never understood what it was like to have a broken heart because of love. But I'm sure you understand what it's like to have a broken heart because a mama wasn't there, a father wasn't
Mm-hmm.
there, or maybe they were in the household, but they really weren't present. Maybe
Yeah.
those finances wasn't able for you to go to that Ivy League school.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe something happened to that inner child. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
that rape that happened, that
Yeah.
ancestral plane that happened. You know, what about that boyfriend that broke up with you back in high school that you really kind of stopped dating men over?
Yeah.
Or that woman that broke your heart and you decided to start dating men over?
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
what about all that?
It's deeply rooted
Yeah,
stuff
it's
that
deep.
people have mastered, dissociating and compartmentalizing so that they could survive. And I understand survival, but I realized for me, I was operating in fight, flight, survival, and run mode all the time. And so when I was able to sit with myself and to be honest with myself and say, yeah, you was that bitch that was fight, flight, run, survive, because that's what you were taught. That's what you knew. And on top of that, too, is dealing with toxicity that was normalized by family,
Mm,
and how to break that down and to fix it within the self instead of like blaming and playing victim or stonewalling or shutting down or silent treatment, all of the things that we do. And we've mastered those things that it's a part of us that we do it automatically. And
mhm,
sometimes we know and sometimes we don't know. So for me, it's just paying attention to the self, like really, really paying attention to the self and being able to look from the outside in as opposed to inside out, because it's two different things you're looking at when you do it that way. Completely, completely different things. So that's why I'm glad like mindful meditation works for you and works for the people that you're helping, because that getting naked with the self is real. And I feel like when people are open, ready, and willing and wanting to be honest with themselves, that's when the work, not that it's not going to be hard or uncomfortable or challenging, but it will be more rewarding because you're ready to accept all of who you are, the good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent, all of it.
And it takes a lot to be able to accept that person.
Yeah.
You know how many times you might pass a person, like, when you were in New York and you were riding the subway or sitting
Yeah.
at the park, how many people you walk past that had on this mask?
A lot. Too many.
Right. And at the impact, you can feel that energy. And it's like, oh, wait,
Mhm, mhm,
you
mhm.
need to get naked with yourself right now for you can
Yeah.
start healing.
Yes.
There's more out here. It's more out here than the struggle.
Um,
It's more out
yeah,
here than
yeah,
pain. It's more
absolutely.
out here.
Yeah,
Yes.
for real. So, what is one compliment, review, or testimonial that a client has given to you that was a lasting impression to know that you're doing what you're supposed to do when you're walking in your purpose?
Being told after going through a moment of wanting to just give up. You know,
Mhm,
my story. I was raped. I was exiled. I was the black sheep. I brought on a lot of hurt to myself because I was hurt. Then
mhm,
in turn, I brought on a lot of hurt to others
mhm. Yeah.
because people hurt people. So being able to be acknowledged for my growth by someone saying, Tina, I don't know what changed or what brought that shift, but whatever it is, don't stop.
Mm, that's beautiful. How did it make you feel?
It made me feel good
Mhm.
because literally I was like, girl, I'm just gonna stop. I'm just tired. I'm over it.
Yeah, because you and I had that conversation. I
Yeah,
was like, no, keep going,
yes,
keep
yes.
going.
It's like keep going. Keep going. And then for the person that told me, it was like an older person. Like she was older. I really I don't know her, but she has been on my friend list for like for years,
Mhm,
many years evidently. I think I joined like in 16 or something, and we were friends since 20. So she's
mhm,
been on my friend list a long time. And I had stopped posting daily affirmations. So when I started, I was posting affirmations every day, every day, every day. So I stopped posting, and she was like, "Well, what's going on with the affirmations?" I was like, "Oh, nothing. I'm just going into a new era or whatever." And she was like, "Well, I don't know what era it is, but can you please start back?" I was like, "Okay, I'll start back with the affirmations. Thank you for letting me know you like them." And just
yeah,
knowing that although people are not literally, they might not be commenting, they're still watching, and
yeah,
that people really need the
yeah,
information.
yeah,
People need to become more self-aware. People need to learn how to manage stress and
yeah,
overcome those barriers and break down those challenges. People literally have figuratively and literally chains on
yeah,
them that they really need to break, and that they just need that message so that they can have a little more strength to go and try to break down those barriers, break that chain.
yeah, absolutely. Agreed 100%. And it's not the easiest thing in the world to do, especially in a world where everything is just a lot of facade and a lot of
Mhm.
fake stuff that's taking place and going on. And I think a lot of people, um, when it comes to working on the self, they make it out to be something that's so bad and so wrong. Working on yourself, and I wouldn't do that if I were you. But it's just learning how to be comfortable uncovering and discovering and identifying who you are on so many different ways. Because I know for me, having a near-death experience really shifted a lot of things in me. And I always tell people like, you don't want to wait until you're on your deathbed to be like, shoulda, coulda, woulda, and I didn't. If
Hmm.
you have the opportunity now to do something about your life or be unapologetic and be unconventional and make change happen, then do it right now. It's no time like the present.
Mhm. Totally agree with that. I totally agree with it.
Absolutely.
And be grateful and show that gratitude now. Show
Yes.
it now. Give those flowers and show that gratitude, because not showing gratitude will lead you in the land of hurt.
Yep.
And it doesn't take
Okay.
but 3 minutes in the morning to repeat that I'm grateful and thankful for. I'm grateful and thankful for my breakfast. I'm grateful and thankful for my
Mhm.
bed. I'm grateful and thankful for my car. I'm grateful and thankful for my limbs. I'm grateful and thankful to be able to go to the restroom on my own.
Absolutely. All of those things, the simple things
Yes,
that we take for granted.
yes, yes.
Sure.
Yes, yes, most definitely, most definitely. And I think that when that starts happening, people will start to understand that that shift is not only mandatory, but it's necessary in order to elevate to
Mhm.
whatever realm in their world that they're trying to get into.
Right. Exactly. So, can you give us a couple of like gems or a little bit of guidance or something that a person can do
Yeah.
as far as when they're going through a stressful time, how mindful meditation works?
When you're going through a stressful time, my suggestion is for you to just take a moment and become one with your breath.
Hmm.
Literally do what's natural, which is breathing, but be
Hmm.
more aware of those breaths and be more intentional. And know that that storm, that trial, that burden, whatever it is that you're going through at that moment, if you have your faith and if you are able to focus on anything positive in that moment, the outcome will be way more virtuous. And know that each day that you are beautiful, you are
Hmm.
someone, and you deserve to be loved, and you deserve to have your heart's desires.
Hmm.
And your mindset, the way you think, the way you perceive, the way you move is a direct reflection
Hmm.
of what and who you are. So
Hmm.
mindful of that. And just please, by any means, remember to breathe and remember that you're beautiful, that you are,
Hmm.
that you deserve to be loved. You're not a punching bag, sis.
Hmm. Agreed. 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 So, how can people find you? Connect with you, work with you, and all that good stuff.
Yes, I have a totally free group on Facebook. It is called Breaking Barriers Together. You can, I'll send the link so you can drop the link, and the link will go directly to my group. And
I will drop the link right
yes,
now.
Breaking Barriers Together. It is a totally free community. And then I have a 3 day love boost that is 3 days, and you get meditations after. Well, you get day one, you get a meditation, but each day you get 3 sets of affirmations for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You're given action steps, journal prompt, checklist, and then that's free. And then there's that planner that's $11. Oh, that I have amazing planner. It is the Self Love Toolkit. So you know how the toolkit started with me saying it was a better sleep toolkit, and I broke that toolkit down, baby. And that toolkit is everything. But most definitely, join Breaking Barriers Together, and I promise it's not a disappointment. Um,
Mhm.
it's fun in there. It's fun in there. If you stuck and you need it, that self-care
Mhm.
toolkit, it's fun in there. And then Beyond Barriers is everything. That's that 12-week research program. And hey,
And what's your website?
it is Beacons, the Beacons website.
So it's Beacons.
The LARE Beacons website.
Mm-hmm. Beacons.ai.
No, is LARE official.
Got it.
Yep, that's it.
Oh wait, spelled the beacons wrong.
Did you get it?
Uh-huh. I got it. There you go.
Yes, that's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. And you stroll all the way down to the bottom for the freebie. The 3 day love boost is all the way down at the bottom. 2 or 3 seconds. Put in your information. It's a free download. Start doing those affirmations. Start doing those affirmations. Start doing those affirmations.
All righty. Well, it was good having you on What's Your Brand Story podcast. I appreciate you. I'm so proud of all the work that you're doing. You've come such a long way because you was like, I'm tired of this shit. I'm just throwing the towel.
Girl, you know, right? Thank
Oh,
you for
trust me.
having me. You know, I was over it. I was like,
She's like, I ain't doing this shit.
I'm
And
over it. We
I get
texting back and forth. You, what's wrong? I'm through. I ain't posting it. I'm over it.
I get it. I
But I feel
completely
better.
understand.
I have an amazing support team,
Good.
and I
And
feel much better. Much
yeah.
better. It's a difference. The growth is real.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Oh,
when
I
you have
know.
an idea, it's with anything, it's like shaking the dice, right? So you have
Yes,
an idea, you have to keep rolling that dice and roll the dice and roll the dice
absolutely.
until you
Absolutely.
get what you want. So
Absolutely. So
thank you for having me, and thank you for your
absolutely.
amazing support all the time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, guys. So pay attention to Miss Latina A. Robinson Edwards, Coach Latina on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and all of the social media platforms. Connect with her. Join her Breaking Barriers Together Facebook group. And yeah, thank you once again. Happy Sunday, everyone. Be well and have an amazing day. Bye,
All right.
guys.
Bye bye.